Hi, and welcome to the second lesson in my series on revising grade 4 for GCSE. Throughout the lesson, I suggest you read and try each question by pausing the video before the timer runs out. The word solution will then appear so you can check your work. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Okay? For question 1, we're going to begin by cancelling out this multiplication of 3. To do this, we divide both sides by 3, because then this multiplication and division will cancel to make 1x squared. So x squared is 108 divided by 3, which is 36. So now we cancel out the square by taking out the square root of both sides. The square and the square root will cancel, so we're left with x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 36, which is 6. It's two solutions because a negative times a negative is also a positive. Okay, for question 2, so we've been asked to approximate this solution. So we're going to write the approximate symbol, and then we're going to round each of these numbers to one significant figure. So for 29, the 9 rounds for 2 to a 3, then this becomes 30. The 4.89, the 8 rounds to 4 to a 5, so 30 times 5. And then the 0.18, the 8 rounds from 1 to a 2, so this becomes 30 times 5 divided by 0.2. So this is approximately 30 times 5, 150, divided by 0.2. So now I need to simplify this fraction. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by 10. And this will convert the 0.2 into 2. So we have 1,500 divided by 2, which is 750. For question 3, we're going to expand these pair of brackets. So we'll multiply the y on the outside by each of these terms on the inside. So we have y times 2y, which is 2y squared. And then we have y times the negative 5, which is minus 5y. For question B, we're going to factorize w squared minus 6w. So we take out the highest common factor, which in this case is w. This is on the outside of our brackets. And w squared is w times w. So this is the first term. And then we have w minus 6. Now we can check this works by expanding the brackets. We have w squared minus 6w. So that's right. For question C, we want the integer values which satisfy this inequality. This symbol here tells us it can be equal to negative 1. So we'll have negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And because we have no line here, it cannot be equal to 3. So these are all the integer solutions for this inequality. Okay, so for question 4, we've been asked to design a better question. So we need a period of time and we need to include more options. So we'll say, how many magazines have you read in the past week? So this week here is for a period of time. And the more options, we need a 0 option. We need the boxes to not overlap, so 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then we need to cover all the possibilities, so then we can have more than 4. Okay? So we've been asked to work out the total surface area of a cube. So we're going to work out the area of one face, and each face is a square because it's a cube. And this is a 6 by 6 centimeter square. So the area of one face will be 6 times 6, 36 centimeters squared. And now we can see the cube as a net, where every square has the same area of 36 centimeters squared. And because there are 6 faces, the total surface area will be 36 centimeters squared multiplied by 6, which is 216 centimeters squared. It's important here to include the units. So we're going to plot the straight line of y equals 5x plus 2. And we've been asked to work out the value of y when x is negative 1, 1, and 2. So we'll say when x equals negative 1, we'll substitute this negative 1 in place of x into our equation. So we get y is equal to 5 lots of negative 1 plus 2. 5 lots of negative 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 2, negative 3. So we'll write this negative 3 in our table. And when x equals 1, we have y equals 5 lots of 1 plus 2. 5 lots of 1 is 5, and 2 is 7. So this is 7 here. And then when x equals 2, y is equal to 5 lots of 2 plus 2. 10 plus 2 is 12. Now we can check that this works because in our table, every value goes up by 5, which is from this 5 here. So we know that this works. Add 5 each time and we do get these numbers. This means that when we plot these numbers, we should get a straight line. So now we'll plot these coordinates. So our first one is negative 2 and negative 8. So negative 2 on the x and negative 8 down, which is here. And then we have negative 1 and negative 3. So negative 1 on the x, negative 3 on the y. We have 0 and 2. So 0 and 2 up. And you can see that we're creating a straight line, which is good. Then we have 1 and 7. So 1 across and 7 up. And then 2 and 12. 2 across and 12 up. And then 3 across and 17 up. Then we can join them all together with a straight line. And it's a good idea to carry the line on through the remainder of the grid. Okay? And this is the line y equals 5x plus 2. To draw a frequency polygon, we need to work out the midpoint of each class. So we'll have a midpoint here, and then the midpoint between 0 to 10 of a median from 0 to 10 is going to be 5. And then from 10 to 20, the median is going to be 15. From 20 to 30, the midpoint will be 25. From 30 to 40, 35, and then 45. To draw our frequency polygon, we're going to plot the frequency against the midpoint. So we have 5 on our midpoint, on our length, and we're going to go up to a frequency of 20, so about here. Then we'll have 15 going up to a frequency of 12, 25 going up to a frequency of 10, 35 going up to a frequency of 8, and then 45 up to a frequency of 6. Now, our frequency polygon, we join these points together with a straight line. Okay? So we've been asked to work out the mass of this prism. So we know, first of all, that density is related to mass and volume, in that it is the mass divided by volume. And we've been told in the question that the density is 6 grams per centimetre cubed. So all we need to work out is the volume. And the volume of a prism is the area of a cross-section multiplied by the depth. And I've shaded in the cross-section here. So we need to work out this blue area. And then we'll multiply that by the 108, which is the depth. So to work out the area of this cross-section, I'm going to think of it as the big square minus this rectangle here. So we have the 8 by 8 square, which has an area of 64 centimeters squared. So now we're going to take away this shape here. And we know that this length must be 5 because this is given as 3. And we know that this length must be also 5 because this is 8 and this is 3. So now we have a smaller 5 by 5 square, which has an area of 25 centimeters squared. So the area of a cross section is going to be 64 centimeters squared minus the 25 centimeters squared, which is 39 centimeters squared. So now we can use this cross-sectional area to work out the volume. So a volume will be the 39 centimeters squared multiplied by the depth of 108 centimeters. We can work this out on our calculators and we get 4,212 centimeters cubed. So now I'm going to move up here and we can work out the mass as the density multiplied by the volume. So what we've done is we've rearranged this formula here to make the mass the subject. So the mass will be the density of 6 grams per centimeter cubed multiplied by the volume of 4,212 centimeters cubed, which gives us a total mass of 25,272 grams or 25.272 kilograms. Okay?